Good morning. My name is Tom Gehring, and today we're going to spend about 8 hours doing two things. The first is learning about life after residency from the perspective not of a physician, but of a person who is embarking on a great adventure that they don't know a heck of a lot about. And the second thing I'm going to try and do in the multiple sessions we're going to talk about is teach you the right questions to ask and the wrong answer. I was a naval officer for many years, and we were not expected to be experts in everything, but we were expected to know when somebody was giving us a line of hooey, okay, when they were leading us down the primrose path. So part of what I'm going to try and do today is teach you the skill set you need to avoid going down a path you really don't want to go down. So we're going to talk about some very specific things to prepare you for life after residency, and we're going to teach you the right questions to ask and all the wrong answers. So how are we going to do that? First, we're going to bring in a panel to talk about the modes of practice. You're going to have multiple choices. Do I practice at Kaiser? Do I practice solo? Do I create my own practice? Do I join a group? You have a panoply of options. So we're going to bring a panel of experts. We're going to have them each kind of present the pros and cons of their mode of practice. And then what we're going to do is give you the opportunity to ask them questions. And that will take up the lion's share of the first hour. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to look at demographics. You are entering the marketplace. You are about to go shop for a job, look for a place to work. How do you do that? What are the data sources that are available to you? What are kind of the big picture? How many physicians go into solo, small? What is the demographics of the work environment that you're about to launch into? Then we're going to bring in a guy named Steve Hayden, who's going to talk about the, well, colloquially, he's going to talk about the cow patties that you don't want to step into. He's been a residency training director for almost 15 years, and during that time he's figured out what residents do wrong as a residency training coordinator's perspective and what you can do to avoid them. And that's fairly generic stuff. Then we're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about all the variations on that theme: insurance, investments, trusts, all the things that you need to understand about money. During that session, we'll give you some notes. We'll give you some references, and hopefully we'll teach you the right questions to ask and the wrong answer, because in an hour we're not going to make you an expert. But hopefully you'll know enough to avoid stepping into one of those cow patties. So after we talk about money and its variations, then we're going to talk about the law. There are so many things that are going to get you in trouble if you don't know about them. So we're going to talk law, legal, and how to stay out of trouble, and what to do proactively to make sure you're doing the right thing for yourself and your family. We're going to talk about negotiation. Everything in life is negotiable. And we're going to talk about the process of negotiation, because that's what you're going to wind up having to do when you leave the womb. Then we're going to talk about finding a job and interviewing. Those are all skill sets that you have to master. And believe me, it is different from applying to med school and applying to a residency program. When you're applying for a job where somebody's going to pay you deep into six figures, that's not just involve sashaying on up there and says, hey, I'm smart, hand me a paycheck. There's a lot of nuances associated with that. Then we're going to talk a little bit about work-life balance. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to bring in an audience, we're going to bring in a panel of folks who have lived it. One relatively young in their life cycle, middle, and one, how do we say this for those of us who are experienced, mature. And we're going to, again, give them the opportunity to kind of talk about where they're at, and then give you the opportunity to ask them questions, so it becomes very interactive. So that's our day. We're going to help prepare you to leave residency, and the way we're going to do that is by giving you an inch deep and a mile wide, but give you the opportunity to kind of understand where the pitfalls are.